is lesson 117 in Saxon's second edition Algebra 1/2 book. Now this is the second lesson that we've had on Roman numerals. The first lesson went on the Roman numerals up through 50. This lesson is going to cover numerals greater than 50 and how do you write those. So let's go look at this chart. Okay, so basically the symbols used by Romans to write their numerals were 7 English letters. You had I for 1, V for 5, X for 10, L for 50. For 100 you've got C, D is 500, and M is 1000. Alright, now that can be hard to remember, so I found a little thing online I thought was really cute to help you remember those. You start here, this is where the capital letter is. My dear cat loves extra vitamins intensely. Now I know that extra starts with an E, but this is the first sound you hear is the X. Alright, so my 1000, dear 500, cat 100, loves 50, extra 10, vitamins 5, intensely 1. So I thought that was kind of cute, but you can make up your own acronym if you want. That would be something that would be easier for you to remember. Okay, let's work some example problems and then we'll do your practice. So in this example, D we've got is represents 500. And then C and C are both 100. L stands for 50. X stands for 10 and V stands for 5. If you add all that up, you get 5, 6, 7, 750, 760, 765. And that's really kind of how you do that. Let's go to the next one. Alright, M we said is 1000. And we've got an M here, but we've got a C here. Now, C is less than M. So you remember that the rule is if there's one that's lower and then one that's higher, you subtract that lower one on the left from the higher one on the right. So 1000 minus 100 would be 900. So these two together are 900. We have the same issue here. L is 50, but X is in front of it and it's smaller than 50, it's 10. So we're going to say 50 minus 10, which is 40. And then we've got 5 and 2. If we add all that up, 5 plus 2 is 7, or 1,947. So you see how you do that. When you've got the letters, you just attach the values and then add them up like we just did. Now this is a little more difficult. You've got to really think through this. Alright, 3,000. We're going to have 3 M's, obviously. And then 400. Now 400 is 100 less than 500. So let's put 100 and then our 500, and we know that these two together make 400. Alright, 90. 90 is 10 less than 100. So the two of these are going to equal 90. And then we're going to have 3 ones on the end. So, see that? M, 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 C, D, X, C, I. Alright, now this is a little different because when they got up into numbers that were this large, they had a little trick. They would only write out this much. So 552, 500, we've got a D, and 50 is L, and 2 is I. And once they did that, they would put this bar over the top. When we see a bar, we know that's a repeating decimal. When they see the bar, they know that that means multiply this number by 1,000. So it keeps them from having to write out so many different letters. Pretty ingenious, I think. Alright, let's do your practice problems and we'll be done. Alright, so in A and B, we have the letters and we're going to transpose those into our Arabic numerals. So, D stands for 500. So we've got 500 there. C stands for 100, and there's 2 of those, so that's 100 and 100. And then L stands for 50. X is 10, and B is 5. So 500, 600, 750, 65. So 765. Alright, let's look at B. M is 1,000. And here we have this combination again, where the one on the left is smaller than the one on the right. So this would be 1,000 minus 100, which is 900. And we have the same situation here. 10 is less than 50, so we say 50 minus 10 is 40. And then 5, and then 2. So 1,940, and 5 plus 2 is 7. Alright, now on C and D, we've got to do the little harder type. We've got to really think this through. So 888, what's the easiest way we could do that? Okay, well, the easiest way to make 800, because it's not 1,000 yet, so we have to go with the 500, which is a D, and then we'll have to add 300 to that, so 3 C's, D, C, 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 and then 80 is 50 plus 30, so X, 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 and 8, so now we've got 500, 600, 700, 800, 850, 860, 870, 880. Now we need 8, and we know that is 5 plus 1, 2, 3. Alright, 888. 1,990. 1,000 we know is M. And 900 is only 100 short of 1,000. So we'll put 100 and then another 1,000. So that we know that CM then is 900. 90 is 10 short of 100, so we'll put the X and then the C for 100, and then we have 1,990. You see how this is a much bigger number than this, but it takes less numerals or digits to make up that than it does to make up the 888. Alright, so just be careful when you're doing these and add them up. Make sure they all add up, especially that little trick of putting the smaller one over the larger one. back next time for Lesson 118.